Hello and welcome back to another episode of Law Firm Success Story. Now, one of the areas that a lot of law firms struggle with is when it comes down to figuring out how do you manage growing, getting clients, plus being able to have time for all of the other fun things you want to do in life, like your family, the things you're passionate about, your community. So, I brought on a guest that will definitely talk about how he's doing that and his role in helping so many law firms actually do that. So, Sam, welcome to the show. How are you?
I appreciate it. I'm doing amazing. Every day is a blessing, and I feel grateful to be here.
Awesome. So, the way we usually do this, I want to start off talking about how does your business look and how do the firms look that you help and where they are today? And then I want to take a step back and then walk through how you got to that place in your own journey.
So I started my first law firm about 10 years ago. And after a couple of years, I realized that I'm good at the business side of law when it comes to generating clients online, automations, hiring teams, and scaling and just growing. So I focused 99.99% of my attention just to that and less of the legal stuff. And then I would surround myself with all the people that were complementary to me, the lawyers, the directors, the managers, the sales managers, the closers, and everything else that came from that. So over time, I basically started replicating the same recipes that I had for growing law firms over and over. As of last year, I had 7 law firms that I was running of my own, either that I was a sole shareholder of or partners in. And it was really overwhelming because I was running 7 law firms at the same time trying to put together a conference for lawyers, at the same time as I was running my legal academy, at the same time as I was having my second child. And I realized it was very overwhelming. Obviously, 9 different sides to deal with at the same time. So I made a promise to myself that when I come from the conference, I have to be a lot smarter with my time. I have to consolidate some stuff. So now fast forward to this year, I'm down to 4 law firms. These are my 80/20s. I 80/20 my law firms. And even out of those 4 law firms, there's 2 of them. So most of my time goes towards growing those 4 law firms. And at the same time, running my legal academy, which helps lawyers grow their firm, automate their firm, and basically anything that comes to growing and automating their law firm.
Nice. I love it. Some people would hear that and say, that is a lot going on. I mean, as you talked about the journey of 7 law firms to we're now down to 4 law firms plus my academy. So let's talk a little bit about like, how did you even get to the point where you felt comfortable being able to wrap your arms around what you're currently doing and still for all of it to be successful?
So I think it comes down to knowing yourself really well. And that's something that I focus, and a lot of my attention throughout the day goes towards self-development. So one practical exercise that I did about 6 months ago was I was thinking about hiring a life coach. And it was one of these high ticket life coaches who's quoting 30K, 60K to be able to take me on as a client. And I decided to bring my mentor in on this initial discovery call meeting. And I let my mentor go first. So the life coach was asking him a series of questions. And as he was asking those questions, I started writing down these questions. I'm like, let me just try to answer myself. And I started writing them down. And at the time, and I'm still like, I'm really obsessed with ChatGPT. So I started using ChatGPT to basically fill in the holes. So let's just say one of the questions was, what are some adjectives that describe you? So I went to ChatGPT and I said, well, if these adjectives describe me, what else can I be like? And then it would give me like 10 more. And out of that 10, I would get that 5 more and then continue refining it. And then and started answering other questions. What are my challenges? What would I rather be doing? What are my side effects that I'm dealing with? What's the desired result I would like to have in my life and professionally? And I basically started training ChatGPT based on all these different angles of things that I'm good at and things that I'm not good at. Once I did that, then started asking a series of questions. And one of those most important questions that I asked was, what is my ideal role? And at the time, a year or 2 years ago, I started thinking about this role called Chief Strategy Officer because I love thinking, I love brainstorming, I love planning things. So that stuck in my head. So I'm like, if ChatGPT just gives me Chief Strategy Officer as the answer, then this is a confirmation that a validation that this is probably the ideal role for me. And lo and behold, said, given your profile and everything I know about you, the Chief Strategy Officer will be a perfect role for you. So at that point, I made a decision. Now I identify myself as a chief strategy officer across my 4 law firms and my legal academy. So that means I have to change what I do on a daily basis. So that means I have to be more behind the scenes, more planning, more thinking, more strategizing, more forward thinking, and do all this stuff. So that also means that I'll have to surround myself with those other components of running a business or a law firm. For all my law firms and my company, I need a sales director, aka intake manager. I also need a client success manager. I also need a marketing manager. And I basically started building these infrastructures of these 3 departments: sales, marketing, and client support, essentially across my law firms. And through this infrastructure kind of building that I rinse and repeated over and over, that's how I was able to clear the things that I don't want to do and focus on the things that I'm really good at. And guess what? When you do that, and when more of your time goes towards those things that feeds what you're best at and what you enjoy doing, that's where growth happens. And that's where I live. I live in that kind of world where I'm aligned with my ideal role. And every day I wake up happy and excited to work. And the results also come as a result of that.
Awesome. I love it. And I love the fact that you just walked us through what that process looked like, because I think there's so many people who are probably in that same place where they're wondering what is the perfect role for them? What should they be doing? So thanks for that. Before we wrap up, tell us a little bit about My Legal Academy, because I know we've mentioned it, you and I have talked about it before, but for the people who aren't familiar, can you tell them a little bit about that?
Sure. So my legal academy is where I take everything that's currently working for me and my law firms, which are practical things when it comes to generating clients online, automating your law firm so that you're not necessarily the one doing the work. Also, when it comes to building your teams, also a lot of things when it comes to AI tools, kind of things that are like new and fresh. And I take all those experiences that I personally have, and now all my law firms have, and our directors and our employees have, and I pass that off to our internal support client success team, and that becomes kind of like the recipe that our client success team comes and sets up for law firms. So we don't even think about it like we're not an agency. We figure out exactly what is the perfect thing that lawyers need, because I understand it as a lawyer, and I just go serve after scratching my own itch. I go build that value for other lawyers to be able to get the same value to help them grow. And what's cool about it is it's a rinse and repeatable system. So I didn't get lucky once. I didn't just get lucky once and then now try to sell something that I did once. No, I'm doing this every day. Even to this now, I'm pretty active with my law firms. I'm involved with building our intake team, setting up ads and marketing, all that stuff, practical stuff. And because these things change, you need somebody who's on it. And I'm like the early adopter of all these things when it comes to growth and scaling, automation, and AI. And the people who are in our program have a huge advantage because they get it as soon as before the market, basically. And by the time the market catches on, it's already at that point, it's already too late. So that's our kind of a competitive advantage. And the results really speak for themselves. I think we've had over 150 lawyers who have joined our program in the past 4 years. A lot of amazing good results. Some people come in to generate more clients and more revenue. Some people do that. Some people are looking to build more of their infrastructure. So when it comes to building out their CRM or building their teams, or some people come in for the kind of like the productivity side of knowing themselves, becoming more productive, and aligning what they do on a daily basis to what they're basically best at, which is what I explained earlier. So everybody comes in for different purposes and they achieve those goals.
Nice. I love it. Hey, thanks for being on. Now, if people want to learn more about My Legal Academy, where can they find it online?
Anywhere online. So just all you have to do is either search my name, Sam Mollaei, or search for My Legal Academy. Obviously, we have a website, we have a YouTube channel that we're very active on. We have a Facebook group, we're all over. I always try to provide value, as much value as possible. So anywhere that you can find us, just come and consume our stuff. And over time, you'll probably come and join our program as well.
Awesome. Sam, thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Taro.
And everyone, thanks for listening, and continue to listen to the law firm success stories, because no matter where you are in your journey, everyone can use a little bit of inspiration and encouragement. And there's so much we can learn from others as we are in pursuit of our own goals. Thanks for listening.